Hi, my name is Linda Ingehagen, and I'm here to invite you to join me and the Sloan Consortium in our next offering of Fair Use and the Teach Act, A Closer Look, the second copyright and fair use workshop in our two-part series. It assumes participants are already familiar with the basics. So if that describes you and you want to learn more, whether you took our first workshop, Copyright Compliance for Online Educators, or picked up the basics somewhere else, please join us to further deepen your working knowledge of and expand your comfort zone with copyright and fair use law. When I began teaching in distance education back in 1984, students received VHS tapes, class handouts, assignments, and exams through the mail. Due dates were postmarks. A lot has changed since then. Ask a classroom full of today's undergraduates about VCRs, and some will return blank stares. Nevertheless, there are other things that remain the same. And one of those is that in distance education, whether in the early days of VHS or more modern digital file formats, there's a record of everything we do. It's important we take the time to make sure it's a record that won't come back to haunt us or our institutions. The most common lament I hear from participants when I do workshops and presentations on copyright and fair use law is that what they really want is a good night's sleep. I'm not kidding. I hear it all the time. So that's my goal in this workshop. I want you to sleep better at night because you've deepened your knowledge, which in turn expanded your comfort zone. To achieve that end, this workshop begins with an overview of the forest by refreshing your memory with the basics. Then we'll take a closer look at two sets of trees, fair use and the Teach Act. When we take that closer look at fair use, we will learn the answers to many questions. Here's a sampling. Which two of the four fair use factors weigh most heavily in court cases? How many factors need to favor fair use before a court is likely to agree the use is fair? What makes a use transformative and why is that important? Is a use that negatively impacts the market for or value of the work presumptively unfair? After taking that closer look at fair use, we will do the same with the Teach Act. Again, you'll walk away with answers to these and many other questions. Whether the Teach Act applies to all educational institutions. Who's required to comply with its requirements? Whether it can be used to stream video for students to view as out-of-class assignments. Whether it allows analog works to be digitized. Why your librarians are critical resources. I have a single overriding objective for participants in this workshop. I want you to get that good night's sleep. And I can help you do that by enhancing your working familiarity with copyright and fair use law as they apply to course design and delivery. We do it all the time with other pieces of our job descriptions. We do it with employment law when we conduct searches for faculty and staff. We do it with contract law when we respond to RFPs. We do it with FERPA when dealing with student records and information. We need to do it with copyright and fair use law when we develop and deliver courses. My goal is to assist you in developing that working familiarity. To fit in what we know are your busy schedules, the workshop runs over 10 days to give you plenty of time to listen to the presentations and review the materials in as much detail as you like. The presentations are broken down into short segments of about 25 minutes each to easily fit into your day. In addition to the presentations, participants are provided with written materials including my brochure entitled Legal Literacy in the Information Age, 10 Easy to Understand Rules of Thumb, which you are free to reproduce for nonprofit purposes. My pamphlet, Copyright Compliance Made Simple, 6 Rules for Course Design, and my compilation entitled Fair Use Guidelines for Educators. Finally, we close the workshop by meeting together in an hour-long live online question and answer session. For those who want to formalize their participation with a certificate of completion, we offer an optional quiz covering the basics of the workshop material. To earn the certificate of completion, you must correctly answer 7 out of 10 questions. Retakes are allowed. Thank you, and do join us for one of this year's offerings of Fair Use and the TEACH Act, A Closer Look.